This is a song that I wrote quite a while back, but lately when I play it, I've been thinking about a friend of mine that we lost in the musical community recently, a man by the name of Griff Parrish. And so lately whenever I played it, it's reminded me of him. So this song is called Broadway. Night on Broadway, she runs her fingers through her hair. She wishes things were different. She don't seem to care. Those bright lights just keep shining. They don't care how sad you think you are. It seems you've walked 1,000,000 miles tonight, but you haven't gotten very far. Another night on Broadway, and he does his song and dance. You tell her that it's all for her. She just give him the chance, and those bright lights just keep shining. They don't care how sad you think you are. It seems you've walked 1,000,000 miles tonight, but you haven't gotten very far. Those bright lights keep shining. They don't care how sad you think you are. It seems you've walked 1,000,000 miles tonight, but you haven't gotten very far. It's another night on Broadway, and I guess we'll all survive. We don't really mind the pain. Makes us feel like we're alive. And those bright lights just keep shining. They don't care how sad you think you are. It seems you've walked 1,000,000 miles tonight, but you haven't gotten very far.
Welcome back to Minstrels on the Block. Special guest, Mr. BJ Holland. Poetry, flavor in these, which we're getting to a little more explanation of these shortly. Excellent. So BJ, tell me about your current music.
Well, right now I'm actually working on tracks because I believe that as a musician I should be pushing toward the next project, never forgetting the last project you did, but always working toward the next thing that you're going to be doing. And I'm actually writing the stuff for the next project that we're going to work on. It has a really, most people whenever they hear it now, they're telling me they hear country in it, and which is great because I do come from the country. So being Southern, that's kind of natural progression for an artist to lean toward a country sound. And the current songs, I think they sound a little more like the old country artists that I admire so much, Chris and Willie and all those guys. I feel like that's what it pours out and every time I sing a song, it changes different feelings and emotions that I have for it. I find myself now basing songs that I wrote 2 years ago on what is going on in my life right now. Like I was saying earlier about somebody seeing themselves in that song and saying, I've been there before. But these new songs are really great. I'm doing a lot of soft acoustic stuff. My wife, Amy Holland, is going to be playing on the next project. She's a music teacher at McBride Elementary. And she plays piano, she plays guitar, she plays accordion. She's a very talented musician, and not to mention I love her much because she's my wife. And she's helped write a few of my songs, even if just being inspiration on them. But the newer songs that are coming out now, or that I'm writing right now, a lot of them are based on the fact that I feel like the Columbus music scene is about to happen. And whenever something's about to happen, you're just sitting there waiting on it to happen. Yeah. And a lot of the new stuff that I'm writing, that's like I've got a song called Ground Zero of Someday that will be on the next project. And
awesome song.
And it basically just talks, the chorus says, you're living at ground zero of someday. I'm very sorry, but it hasn't happened yet. You're living at the ground zero of someday, and when it does, it's something you'll never forget. Because I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I'm at just on the verge of something happening.
Right.
Something big happening. And it would be great to, whenever it happens, be able to, to enjoy it. So I'm building up to the enjoyment now. And that's what my songwriting right now is definitely showing. I'm playing most of these songs. Usually whenever I write it, I try to get up the next week on the stage at Fountain City's open mic night, or another stage, any other stage, and play the new songs so I can get a feel on how people like them and stuff. I actually did Ground Zero of Someday last Saturday at my release party for the CD, and it got, a lot of people were very, very congratulatory and thought that song was really one of the better songs that I've written. So I feel like as long as the newest song is the better song that I've written, it's always going to be okay. Yeah. As long as I'm always getting better. I don't want to back up. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on now. I've actually implemented harmonica into a lot of my songs because we went out and bought an entire set of harmonicas, and my wife told me, you can't put harmonica in every song you write. I said, yeah, well, tell that to Bob Dylan. And so there's a lot of that. Whenever people see me live, of course, it's got a more stripped down feel because it's usually just me and the acoustic guitar, or if my wife will come with me, we can put the accordion and the mandolin and stuff, or if John's there, he will play with me. John Phillips, the producer of the album, and he's super talented as well. And a lot of things also, whenever you're writing, after you get a project out and you see what can be done, you start writing on things that you want to see happen. You're like, I know that so and so can do this on this album, so therefore I'm writing this to be backed up by this. And that's one of the most interesting parts of writing the new stuff right now, is that it is a process of, I know what other people can do and what other people are going to do on the album. Yeah. And so now I can plan for that whenever writing a song. while still trying to keep them as stripped down as possible. Because I want to be able to do it live and people still be able to go, that sounds like the recording. So,
and one of the really, really cool things about BJ's songs is that they sound great on the CD, which we'll get to in a moment. With the backing, everything from banjo, mandolin, accordion, and they sound just as good with just BJ and a guitar. To keep them stripped down as possible. So
so that you can build upon them. And if you're building upon them, then whenever people come to see you, they're still getting what they're hearing on the CD.
Right.
They may not be getting everything they're hearing on the CD, but they're getting what they're hearing on the CD. And of course, it's going to be live, so every song, every time you play it, is just a little bit different than the last time you played it. So especially with the recording process, because I know we have tons of tracks that that we went and re-recorded. Of course, Brian keeps everything whenever he's recording for me. So he's got everything for bootlegs later on in life. But but whenever you're building on that, I like to lay down just the basic work for it. Tell them what key it's in, and then see what happens after that. And any music is going to be a collaborative effort by anybody. So if you're not collaborating, you're not really making music, I don't feel like. I feel like that's part of the music that you're making. It's bringing other people into it and making sure that everybody that has a part in it knows that they're just as important as anybody that wrote the song or anything like that, because they have a part to play in it. So, and that also has helped me in writing the new songs. I can be a little more daring on some things. Of course, in the next project we have One Night Stand, which is kind of a great rock song, I feel like. And I got help from people like Brent Lindley and, of course, John Phillips, who plays a lot of instruments on the album.
Yeah, a lot of
instruments. And those times of being able to collaborate with these guys, and it also brings you closer to people that you're working with. I mean, to know that somebody's working on something that you made, and they're doing it, because they want to help promote your music. They want to help make your music better, and it brings a better feeling of unity to an album, I think.
Music is one of the most awesome ways of bringing people together. Music was never meant to be kept to oneself. Collaboration is just a fluid movement in music, and music, especially in the scenery we have here in the Valley area, such a collaborative effort. And speaking of music, we're going to go to another of Mr. Holland's songs, and we'll be back shortly.